The weekend is here, which means that Maharashtra will be going into full lockdown as per the guidelines. It's been a busy week for e-commerce players plying essential services. It has also been a week of uncertainty, a week of hardship. The guidelines do talk about how every delivery personnel has to have a negative RT-PCR test to be on the road to deliver essential services. But as we all have been reporting as well, the laboratories in Maharashtra are running at overcapacity and more than 100%. What are the challenges? How are startups solving that so that people like you and me can continue to eat comfortably, continue to carry on with our life as much as possible, as normally as possible? Talking to me about that will be the co-founder of Dunzo, Kabeer, joining us right here. Kabeer, thanks so much for agreeing to do this interview. I know you have a chock-a-block calendar just trying to sort not just Maharashtra, but many other cities and states that are looking at restrictions. But let's talk about Maharashtra first. It's getting into full lockdown. Mumbai and Pune must be very big markets for you. Are you in a position to have as many operations, as normalized operations as possible?
I think, so no, they're very important markets. And thank you so much for having us too. So we're trying to understand the regulations and what are the safety protocols that we need to be able to follow. We're glad that at least there is a small segment of what you call partners that we are able to help them get their vaccination. And so yesterday or day before, our first set of partners, we were able to go ahead and what you call provide them the funds to actually go get themselves vaccinated itself above the age of 45. But that's still a small number. That's about 5% of the entire delivery partner base. I think what we are doing is we're just learning about the regulations as they are coming about. Yesterday night, there was a small change that they don't end at 8 p.m. And they can deliver 24/7. That's great. We're trying to figure out where exactly can we go ahead and make sure that the tests are done, that partners are what you call making sure that they're constantly what you call equipped for handling sanitation, as well as making sure that that they are actually following the protocols, and making sure that we are socially distancing at our merchant locations, ensuring that the order volume that's coming in is throttled in a fashion that we don't have crowding at any location by too much. But I think the only way to be able to go ahead and make sure that we learn from what happened last time is to make sure that we make these delivery services a lot more easily available to people, because that was one of the keys that we learned to keeping people at home. Otherwise, people would come out to try and, because these are essential goods. You really can't survive in your house without them. So I think we're just trying to work with everybody to try and make sure that we follow all the safety protocols, keep all the regulations in check, while making sure that we deliver for as many orders as possible for these consumers who are actually stuck at home.
Absolutely right. The clarification came on Wednesday that, those delivering food can be out 24/7. How big a challenge has that turned out to be? I know it's early days as yet. You may not have all your delivery partners vaccinated. All your delivery partners will not have the negative RT-PCR test results, also simply because the laboratories are choked. There's no confusion that the restaurants can continue, the cloud kitchens can continue to give your delivery partners food till wee hours of the morning?
No, there are challenges. It's not as if it's as straightforward. It will mean that that stuff is not going to get instantly delivered. A lot more people will try, and there won't be enough delivery partners on the ground. We're trying to make sure that we work with what you call the local institutions or authorities to make sure that that we are able to get people tested. I do hope that at some point of time, and let's be honest, I think everybody is playing this a little bit by the ear, along with us, where hopefully, the fact that the tests have been done and results are awaited and there are no symptoms should be good for them to be able to apply. That's not true right now. But I think I'm hoping that after the first 48 hours, we will see a little bit of evolution as to how we are going to be able to handle the second surge.
early days, but can you share with us that on Dunzo, what exactly is being used a lot? Is it, is it food? Because, you've got other options there as well. Is it, medicines? Is it grocery items? I'm talking about Mumbai and Pune right now.
It's largely consumables. This is people who are running their daily and weekly essentials of their house, getting delivered on the platform. Think of it as grocery, fresh fruits and vegetables, meat, a lot of what you call pet food. Once in a while, we also have a massive surge in stuff like oximeters, etc. So we actually figured that the surge was most likely coming about, I think about 2 weeks back, when suddenly on a week-on-week basis, our shipments or orders for oximeters actually doubled. And that's when we realized that we are most likely going to go ahead and see some changes in regulation, or that the COVID surge was coming. That kind of data really helps in being prepared when something like this happens. But largely continues to be people wanting to make sure that their daily household goods they are able to procure on Dunzo and from the local merchants that we work with, so that they don't have to step out. It's not as much. I don't think it's experiential restaurant foods, etc. right now as much. People, I think, just are a little fatigued to go ahead and even have any experiences at home. I think just the idea is to be able to just make sure that they're able to peacefully take this time out, and hopefully that this does not get extended into beyond a few weeks.
We're all together fighting coronavirus. Can I ask you whether you and your peers from the startup ecosystem, whether it's a big basket or whether it's a Zomato, whether it's a Swiggy or whoever, are you all coming together to try and find a solution for all your millions of consumers? Because there are challenges. Everybody wants as many delivery partners as they can get, but as we all know, there are challenges. They can't be on the road. The test results are awaited. Are we seeing any kind of a collaboration?
So when the first time around, last year, right, when we were first time going into lockdowns, so the government agencies actually went out and got everybody together on WhatsApp groups and stuff like that for us to be able to collaborate on things. I think largely we do expect this time to be slightly different than the first time, because between April to July last year, right, there were a lot more learnings that ended up happening. So we can actually replicate what we learned last year into this year. What though we are seeing is that there's a lot more collaboration at the cities end. So city teams who work very closely, they're trying to figure out as to how, if we can go ahead and find a place where, everybody can get tested in the same location. We don't go ahead and crowd too many places. And so city teams, of course, I think between different players are also collaborating. Definitely heard of it, yes.
So this time around, it's not happening.
No, it is. City teams are actually collaborating together with other competitors also to be able to make sure that we are able to get tests, etc., or vaccinations, etc., collaborated for a lot more.
Now, the government has also, the Union Health Ministry has stopped registration of any more new frontline workers as well as new healthcare workers, right, for the vaccine. So when Maharashtra announced the guidelines, it also said early vaccination. As random as it may sound, do you think Dunzo would also now be just looking for partners that are aged above 45?
So, no. Tough one. It's not something that you can actually over-index on as much. You can go ahead and help people get vaccination done. But if you look at the pool of delivery partners that exist in the country, that percentage is actually not that high because of the nature of the job. The nature of the job requires you to be on a bike for the whole day. You need to go about in different locations. And all of those are much more conducive for people between their 25s to 35s. In fact, even 20 to 35. So just the universe of partners that exists out there above 45 is actually fairly low. But it is what it is. You can't really index on top of that.
Can I also ask you about the other cities where we've seen Delhi curfew, the night curfews? The city I'm from, Delhi, there is going to be a night curfew. You've had Mohali, which anyway has been having a night curfew, and that has been extended to April 30th. You're seeing other cities also announce night curfews. How are you managing around all of that? Is it even possible? How's it panning out? Because obviously they're also all scared. How are they supposed to get their essentials?
So, from a merchant and delivery partner perspective, Nandita, the biggest thing that we can do is keep educating and make sure that they have the right tools to be able to stay safe. And if you are able to get access to tests as well as to vaccines, we need to be able to find a way for them to go ahead and start getting that access as quickly as possible. Beyond that, honestly, the regulations that are there in that particular city or geography is something that we have to just make sure that we follow, because clearly these are being set so that we are able to go ahead and curb the surge. From a delivery partner perspective, the one thing that we have learned is educating them is the right answer. We can go ahead and test, we can go ahead and figure out what you call their temperatures, etc. But the fact that they know as to what this is, and what do they need to do to be able to take care of themselves and people that they come in what you call contact with, that I think is the two big things that we have always constantly done, and it seems to be working, by the way.
Okay, I know you have a lot of challenges that you need to meet. Before I let you go, Kabeer, because you've done this last year, you're doing it again now. Any suggestions that you have for the state government so that it's a win-win for everybody? And when I say win-win, I mean consumers, I mean those that are, players like you as well as the government.
So I'm sure they are seeing a lot more data than we are seeing, but I think of everything that we are learning, and honestly, it's been happening in pockets, right? Differently. We are going to go ahead and you can see like data for certain pockets actually surging beforehand itself. It seems like allowing a lot of the people who need to go ahead and move around and access to vaccines much faster would really help. So what's the answer here? We are saying that people will need to be locked down, but there are going to be some people who are going to be moving around. So for that, shops need to be open as well as supply chains need to be open. If we can just out-vaccinate the people who need to go ahead and move around versus the people who can stay at home, there would be a significantly higher chance, hopefully, of being able to curb this. But I'm guessing there is a lot more knowledge that exists with people who are making these decisions. So we are just reacting to what we are learning and making sure that we comply with all the guidelines that they're making sure that we all know about.
Okay. With that, Kabeer, I'd like to thank you for joining us here and, soothe frayed nerves. Yes, we lived through this last year, but, this year it's different. Expectations were different. The vaccination program had also started, but before you knew it, exactly a year later, a lot of us are back where we were a year ago in our homes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.